Well, last week at a meeting of the so-called Friends of Syria in Morocco, the UK Foreign Secretary fueled speculations of a military intervention in Syria. William Hague said that he does not rule out any option when it comes to the Syrian situation. Now, British MPs are challenging Hague's comments and are demanding he explain the legal basis for such a move. In a letter to Hague, the MPs voiced concern about a possible military intervention in Syria. They called on the Foreign Secretary to consider the value, legitimacy and legality of such an intervention. The lawmakers also urged Hague to consult Parliament before providing any military support to the Syrian opposition. British MPs' letters comes just a day after Press TV aired an interview with the British Foreign Office spokesperson. In that interview, Deeman Arman said London favours a diplomatic solution to the Syrian crisis. However, US media reports say that the US and UK have organised training for militants in Jordan. To discuss this more, I'm joined from Berkeley by Ralph Shawman, political commentator. Welcome to the programme. So, Mr. Shawman, just how imminent is the threat of an actual foreign military intervention in Syria with US and UK forces involved?
It's quite imminent, and it's been prepared, as you know, for a considerable time, step by step and relentlessly. Turkey had not only given open support for the Saudi and Qatari and Libyan and Bahraini and NATO and U.S. Manipulated uprisings in Syria, but had provided an organizational base for these elements and threatened to invade Syria numerous times. And Turkey's parliament had given the government permission to do this. Turkey has been loudly advocating a no-fly zone, which in practice is the equivalent of a military invasion, and it would be requiring just that to support it. One of the primary motives for the Turks, apart from the subordination to imperialism, is that the Kurdish population in Syria is the largest ethnic group in the world without a country, and of course the Turks are very severely repressing their own Kurdish population over decades. So the dynamics of Turkish involvement are that of providing the basis for invasion. And this was amplified in the meetings on Friday where the United States Defense Secretary Leon Panetta announced that the American military would begin deployment of Patriot missile batteries along with 400 U.S. troops along the Turkish-Syrian border, joined by 400 German and 360 Dutch soldiers to operate missile batteries under the pretext of defense against a possible Syrian attack on Turkey entirely invented. This is a significant escalation of the drive of the United States because the missile systems are to be deployed as air cover for the rebel forces, which are essentially Islamic fundamentalist forces aligned with the Sunni desire to destroy the Alawite and non-sectarian government of the president. That's the underlying politics here, to destabilize and fragment the Syrian nation as such, regardless of the degree of opposition in the population to very many aspects of the rule of the government. This operation has zero to do with popular aspirations, and the more it is unfolded, the more the population is rallied behind the government because of the viciousness of these mercenary killers and the indiscriminate killing that they have unleashed.
Right. Now, Mr. Shawman, very briefly, how much do you think Russia and China would be involved in a military confrontation there?
Well, one of the significant aspects of this is the declaration that the Russian and Ukrainian presence in Syria through technical support and through financial and economic relations should provide a target, and namely that Russian and Ukrainian nationals are going to be targeted by these mercenary groups, and specifically with the purpose of, in fact, confronting Russia in Syria. So what we're looking at here is a regional confrontation that the United States and the Israelis have engineered through their various country-selling surrogates in the Arab League that we've mentioned already, the Saudis, the Qataris, the Bahrainis, and so on, using, by the way, the same Libyan elements that were deployed by Al-Qaeda and the United States Central Intelligence Agency in Libya against Gaddafi, and are now being unleashed in Syria as well. Russia is targeted without question. There are all the elements of a larger, even global confrontation, which imperialism is relentlessly unveiling in the context of destroying the Syrian nation. Hundreds of thousands of people are being wounded and killed in this process. A country is being laid waste by the imperial agenda.
All right, Mr. Shulman. I'm sorry I have to leave it there. Ralph Shulman there, political commentator from Berkeley.